How you going? I'm great, thanks for asking. I just like to get the pleasantries out of the way right up top there. As Erin mentioned, I'm not from here, obviously. I'm from, clearly, I'm from, Santa Clarita. But I love LA, I really do. I love LA. I came to LA with a dream. I don't think that's uncommon. I think, actually, I don't even think my dream is uncommon. I'd be very surprised if there weren't a couple of people here who didn't share my dream. See, I just came to LA, I wanted to be a really famous, porn star. And that hasn't worked out yet. Still hopeful, but had to fall back on doing this to make ends meet, which is awkward and embarrassing. Especially my parents call sometimes and they're like, hey, how you going? Like, you're living the dream and that. And I'm like, yeah, I can't tell them I'm doing comedy. That's just going to break their heart. So I tell them I'm a stripper. And they're okay with that for now. My parents are getting older. They're actually a little bit older than I am, my parents are. And I think it's important, actually, this might just be good general advice for some of the younger folk in the audience. I think it's really important as your parents get older that you stay, in the will. So just tell them any shit they want to hear at that point. I'm not going to do this for long. I've seen what happens to people that get into this business and get stuck in it. A guy I know actually saw him like 2 days ago. He's on a street corner and he was giving puns for $5. It was actually for $10. He'll take you into a back alley and give you a limerick. It's not dignified though. It's no way to live. So I'm just going to do a couple of shows, pay the rent, get back on my feet, or not on my feet. A lot of ways to do the porn now. So. But like I say, I love LA. It's a great town. It really is. It's a great, slightly confusing town. I asked a guy for directions the other day, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you just want to take the 14 to the 5, get off at the 170. When it turns into the 101, get to the 405, then take the 134 to the 2." I'm like, yeah. Are they directions or a fucking math exam? Because I got to be honest, I got confused. I think in the middle. I may have added my mother's birthday, and then I think I divided it by the number I first thought of. And when I carried the 1, I ended up in Compton. And I wasn't going to Compton. I didn't need to be in Compton. I had no business. I got fucking straight out of Compton. I have never seen that film, but fully understand the premise. I'm not sure it needs a whole film. Seems more like an email. Just don't be in Compton. Anytime you get the opportunity, just don't be in Compton. It's very stressful. But I will say, I've learned to deal with stress in the most LA of ways. I have taken up meditation. Namaste. I do mostly guided meditations because, I'm lazy as fuck. And I just figure if you can lay back and let someone else do all the work, why wouldn't you? So sorry, I'm just going to stop there for a minute. That doesn't pertain to sex when I say that. And there's no joke there. Just I want to clear that up in case there's any porn casting people in the audience tonight. I don't want people to think I've got a bad work ethic. But it's true. Like I said, I do mostly the guided meditation, and they all start out pretty much the same with a little bit of pan flute music. Because what the fuck else would you use pan flute music for? Then you get the ocean sounds. That sort of. And then the soft voice comes on. Imagine that you're lying on a beach. Waves are crashing on the sand. Water gently lapping at your hand. So I'm guessing about now, most of you are starting to think kind of Waikiki, Koh Samui, something like that. So I mentioned earlier, I'm not from here. I did in fact grow up in Australia, where everything in the water will try and kill you. So that shit is not relaxing to us. And we don't even know why. There's 1,000 different types of sharks in Australia. We got jellyfish, we got stingrays, we've got box jellyfish, which are actually worse, and no one knows why. We got blue-ringed octopus, and there's no coming back from that. So growing up as a kid, we spent a lot of time on the beach and in the water. And I think the reason for that, despite the peril, is there is a place more dangerous than the water in Australia. It's a little place we like to call the land. See, on land in Australia, we got 9 of the world's most deadly snakes and 8 of the world's most deadly spiders. We got lizards, we've got crocodiles, which actually will kill you either on land or in water because they don't give a fuck. Don't even get me started on koalas. We got dingoes. They'll eat your babies, and Meryl Streep can vouch for that. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to say is that is why I live in Santa Clarita. Thank you, you've been most respectful.